welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're having a really good week. I hope you've been keeping up to date with everything that's been going on the channel and what's going on in the world of blues. Today's video I want to talk about a couple of subjects. I actually will get onto the Middlesbrough preview very shortly, but first let's do a roundup of the transfers. And it's actually been a really busy week for blues, and something that it's been a long time coming, and it's all happening at once. It was something that I really didn't want to happen, but beggars can't be choosers. The news that the embargo was lifted last week has literally sent us into a frenzy of transfer news and transfer dealings, and that's resulted in a few ins and a few outs. So I wanted to talk about those. Obviously, I did the video on Omar Bogle and Connor Mahoney joining last week. Great signings. Again, no issue. I hope they settle in really well. I have no fears that, I think both of them will make good impacts, whether they're just squad players or whether they push for first team. Who knows? But really good additions from Gary Monk. I think he's done really well to get those two in. I didn't make a video yesterday on the Lee Camp deal because I thought I'd shift that one into today. But now there's actually been, a little bit more activity today and the back end yesterday. So let me put it all into one. So Blues snapped up Lee Camp on a 2-year deal yesterday. The 33-year-old joins with a wealth of experience, and it's divided opinion, I think, that one. I, for one, will put my 2 pence on it and say I will take it. Now, I'm not saying that because it's Lee Camp. I've seen Camp play a few times against us and actually never done that poorly. The only time I did see him have a slightly off game was when we beat Rotherham 4-2 a few years ago under Rowett. But again, he had a really poor defence in front of him. I think he's going to be an okay goalkeeper. I don't know whether I'm not going to, even suggest that he's going to be first team or second. The word on the street is from Reluctant Nick from The Sun is that Blues are actually still chasing a goalkeeper. How true that is, I don't know. That wouldn't actually surprise me. The fact that we could make 5 signings, which was suggested when the announcement was made, indicates to me that Blues will probably use up all 5 of those signings. And the fact that we were releasing 2 goalkeepers, I was discussing before the embargo was even placed that we need at least 1, but probably 2 goalkeepers in. That's going to be really harsh on Connell Trueman if that happens. But the rumour has it that we could be bringing in another one. Lee Camp, for me, at the minute, would be backup to Connell Trueman. I can't see things changing, but he's a good option, and he's going to be a good mentor to Connell Trueman. So I, for one, won't moan too much. Yeah, it's not an inspiring sign. It's not the Norwegian lad that we were chasing. I think he's gone to Villa, and he's not a top-class goalkeeper, but Trueman showed that he's got the ability to do it. So let's keep faith with him, I say, for the next game. In terms of outgoings, then, as of today, we've just seen Nikolai Brotmadsen go to St Mirren on a season-long loan. And that's fine, that's just more wages off the bill for us. Brotmadsen, we all know what he's done, what he's about. He really has done nothing, let's be honest, and what a waste of money he has been. For £500,000, I know it's not much, but he's still, what a waste of money. I feel bad for the kid. I'm not going to put full blame on him, but it's a waste of money. It has been a waste of money, it always has been. So it's good to get him off the wage bill. And from what I was reading last week, if we get a few out, we could even bring more than 5 in. I heard the rules were slightly more flexible. So who knows? We could even, the loan window is open until the end of August. We could see another loan come in. And I also read that Bolton had made an approach yesterday, an official approach for, I'm not sure whether it was just David Stockdale, but I also heard Jonathan Grounds mentioned as well. So that was a potential bid for the 2 of those. Again, I can't see Bolton paying full wages for either of them. I believe Grounds could be on anywhere from 10 grand, 15 grand maybe. I think he's on about 10 grand a week. And then Stockdale with his huge wages. Could Bolton even afford half of those? Either way, we're still paying full wages. So even if we get half the wages shifted from those 2, that could still be 20 to 25 grand shifted. That's not bad. And then with Brotmadsen gone as well, that frees up a lot of space. Now, I want to talk about the big one this afternoon, that Gary Gardner is actually undergoing a medical at Blues right now. That really has caught the attention of a lot of fans. Me for one, that's really took me by surprise. I've heard nothing until this morning, and I don't know what to say on it. I'm really not sure. Gary Gardner was always a really highly rated prospect at Villa. They almost cherished him as a player. They were always expecting big things from him. We always said, "Oh, he's better than Craig. He's this, he's that. He's an England international, like England youth international." And he's always done okay. Very injury hit player, but always done okay. He's very similar to Craig, if you ask me. Maybe a little bit more offensive at times, going forward. So, in terms of if that one goes through, which I expect it to, by the time this video goes up, it might have already happened. But at the time of recording this, I think he's in for a medical. I'm gonna say, fine, come in. As long as you give 110% for that shirt, and you're not just a waste of time. Even if he's just a squad player, but when he plays, he gives everything. Fine by me. Come in, do a job, and we will back you. We will back you 100%. I think we could do a lot worse. I'm a little bit disappointed that the De Silva issue has rumbled on, and by the looks of it, we can't get the compensation over the line. That's the issue that's holding it up. And rumour has it that he might have been injured as well. Either way, I'm disappointed that one didn't come through, because I was quite excited to see what he was about. Gary Gardner's done it in the Championship. He has experience. He has a wealth of experience. That's fine by me. Bring him in, I say. Let's have him. Squad player. With no disrespect to Ndoye, he's better than Ndoye. He's going to be a better option. If we need to change the game in the middle of the park, if we lost Keith Bell or Davis, we'd be stuck with Ndoye now. So let's bring him in. Let's bring Gardner in now. And hopefully we might see another goalkeeper as well come in. Maybe someone that people are more pleased with than Cam. So, who knows. Okay, moving on. Middlesbrough this weekend. It's such a tough game. Middlesbrough, no one's kidding themselves. This is going to be a tough game. And if Blues come out with anything from this game, bonus. I don't want to be sceptical. I don't want to be negative. But it's true. What a tough place the Riverside is to go. It's a horrible place to go and play football. Middlesbrough are always solid at home. No disrespect to Middlesbrough in terms of the place, but it's a horrible place to go and play your football. That's what I meant to say. And this is going to prove to be another test for Gary Monk. Away form last season got better under Monk, but these are one of the top teams, and if we're looking to push for top half, we should be at least giving them a game. They battered Sheffield United on Tuesday night 3-0, and I expected more of a fight from Sheffield United, but that might be the case that Middlesbrough, I haven't seen too much of them this season. I'm not going to kid myself. I watched a little bit of them here and there. I caught a few pre-season games of theirs, but they're going to be solid. They made playoffs last year, and I expect them to be in and around that area again. I think I predicted that they'll just miss out. But then their opening game against Millwall, they drew 2-2. They were actually 2-0 down at the Den. Again, no one's kidding themselves. The Den's a tough place to go. But to show that comeback from 2 goals down to draw there, and then to take apart a very well organised Sheffield United team, shows that they are going to be no mugs this season. So I, for one, would be delighted to come away with a point from Middlesbrough. And I want to see us, even if we went there and lost, but gave them a real good go. Really showed some intent, really gave them some trouble. Then that's fine by me. Looking ahead to the lineup, I'm going to call it now. I've got my trusty whiteboard here. So, in terms of the lineup, I can't see much change. I really can't. I can't see him mixing up too much. Gary Monk's a firm believer in a solid side and a lot of consistency. So for me, it's going to be Truman in goal. It's going to be Truman in goal again. I don't think Camp's going to come straight in. I think he'll play Tuesday night, but I don't think Truman's going to change. I thought he played all right on Saturday. So, and then again, it's going to be the same back four of Colin, Morrow, Dean, and Pedersen. Again, it's all about a settled back four, and I thought the back four looked all right on Saturday, as discussed. I just thought a few errors, but the errors were almost inevitable, the slips, etc. So apart from that, I thought we fared really well against a strong Norwich team. They threw a lot at us, especially in the last 20 minutes when we'd gone 1-up, and I thought we dealt okay with it. I'd like to see us show a little bit more composure from the back. I think we lacked a little bit of composure on Saturday, just getting the ball down, trying to play instead of just hoofing it back up. So that's what I'd like to see. Again, it's going to be the same midfield four of Magoma, Gardner, Kieft and Hotter. Now, one thing, if I'm going to be critical, I want to see a bit more from Hotter. He did okay last week. I don't think he did much wrong, but again, he didn't do much right. People would call me critical for this, but I think that his first touch was really sloppy on Saturday. I think it let him down in a lot of situations where usually you'd see him beat his man and be a bit more, he'd open the game up a bit more. The other day, it didn't really happen for him. He lost the ball a lot. He's sloppy in possession. And I thought his final decision just wasn't quite there. I don't want to be able to critical because the back end of last season, he was one of our best players. So let's just hope it was, first day, bit of rust, trying to knock off a bit of rust. Mags picked up where he left off. Phenomenal performance again. And again, I just want to see a bit more creativeness in the middle of the park. Kieft and Gardner opening teams up a little bit more, trying to be a bit more inventive with their passing. But overall, again, you just wouldn't change it. And then you've got Duke and Adams up front. And I don't know. In terms of attacking options, I think with what we've got on the bench now, these forward players need to be, especially Adams. He needs to be finding the back of the net very soon. It's early doors, so I don't want to put too much pressure on him. But with signing these strikers, everybody's going to be chomping at the bit now to get in. And with Bogle pushing, he's going to be pushing for a first team place straight away. Adams has got to watch himself, and with Isaac Vassell coming back in, he could easily lose his place if he's not scoring. So his movement was good on Saturday, but again, his final decision wasn't great. His final shot, that final pass, wasn't on. So I don't expect to see any changes for the team. But on the bench, we're probably going to see Lee Camp come in. We're going to see Roberts and Doy. We're probably going to see maybe Charlie Lakin, Viv Solomon, Mahoney and Bogle. I think you'll see all the three new lads come in, and I think it'll be good for us. I think that having those options off the bench is pivotal to us. In fact, tell a lie, if Gardner signs today, he will be on the bench for Middlesbrough. Again, it's all about options off the bench for Blues. I thought Bez Lubala is going to be unlucky to lose his place on the bench. I thought he did actually really well when he came on Saturday. He pressed high, he pressed well, and I think he's got a bright future. But I don't think, I think Bogle will come straight in. It's all about that championship experience, and Monks, that's why he's recruited them. So positives ahead of Saturday is that we've got way more options. I looked at the bench on Saturday, and it showed when we had to bring Viv and Bez on. No disrespect. But I was surprised when Viv scored, not because he's a poor player, but because it was his first taste of championship action in a while, and we just threw him straight in. And Bears as well, there's no options. Now we've got Bogle and Mahoney and Gardner and Viv. You're looking at there like 4 players, and Ndoye if we need to, bring on someone defensive. We've got lots of good options there now that we can say, yeah, he can change a game, he can change a game. So all in all, I'm feeling quite positive. I'm going to stick my neck on the line and say I think we're going to pick up a point. I'll stick my neck on the line and say we're going to draw. That's me being positive. I just want to see us be solid and cause them some problems. My draw would be 1-1. My prediction would be 1-1. But in terms of, realistically, if we come out of it unscathed and don't embarrass ourselves, then, all is positive. In terms of Middlesbrough and their lineup, I'm not really too sure how Middlesbrough lined up on. I'm not too sure how they lined up on Tuesday or Saturday. So looking at Borough's team from Tuesday night's game against Sheffield United, they lined up in a 4-3-3 formation. Looking at Randolph in goal, we all know about Darren Randolph. Ryan Shotton at right back. That's one area I just want to pick up quickly. Ryan Shotton was terrible for us at right back, and I saw a lot of complaints about him from Borough fans in the playoffs last season. So if he starts there again, who knows? They could change it up, fresh legs, etc. That is the side I would look to exploit down that left-hand side with Mags and Viv if we bring him on. That is going to be crucial. I think we can get at Shotton because he's not exactly the quickest. He's not a quick fullback. Alongside him, Aidan Flint, Blues target last season. Fry and Friend across the back line. Very solid, very strong, tall centre halves. All four across that back line, strong and big. So we're not really going to win much physically. So Duke's going to have a tough afternoon. A midfield three of Clayton, Howson, and Wing. I like the options they've got there. Johnny Howson, always a good option. Was always a good option at Norwich. And Adam Clayton, just a tenacious midfielder. Really good eye for a pass and likes to get forward. So that's going to be, it's going to be a solid midfield three. And then the wide options of Braithwaite and Downing, lots of pace, lots of creativity there. So the fullbacks are going to be put under pressure all afternoon. It's going to be a case of, can we shut them up wide? Can we get up 2-on-1? Can we double up on them when they're coming forward? I think that's going to be the key to shutting them down. And Aston Belonga up front, we know, is an absolute prolific striker on his day. If he's having a good game, he's going to tear you apart. So it's something we've got to watch out for. That 4-3-3 system, if we have our two banks of four, could nullify their threats. But we know what Middlesbrough are about. They're going to be well organised. The Tony Pulis team is always going to be solid. They're not going to concede a lot. So this is why I'm just saying I'd like to go there and cause some problems and maybe nick a goal. So that's everything from me from this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Please leave a comment on what you think the lineup's going to be and what you think the score's going to be. I'll be really interested to see if I'm on the same page as everyone else, and if not, let me know. Tell me if you think I'm right or I'm wrong. And tell me what you think about the transfers coming in, Gardner and Cam. I'd like to see what your opinions are, and let me know if you're going as well. Maybe catch you on the fan cams if you are. So please don't forget to subscribe and like the video, helps me massively, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.